So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to talk about today includes the crazy news from yesterday with Microsoft buying Activision, my reaction, what this means, and what Sony's response could be, Sony releasing their first-party titles day one on PlayStation Plus, or whatever this new subscription service is, whatever they call it, and a new PS5 controller was announced recently. First, yes or no, do you care about Call of Duty being Xbox exclusive or not? Be honest with this answer. I'm curious how many of you in the community here, our community, care about this new deal, especially with a game like Call of Duty being an Xbox game now, essentially. So, comment below, yes or no, do you care about the Call of Duty franchise or not? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, let's get into this one right out of the gate, the Activision buyout. So, I've put out some of my thoughts on Twitter yesterday, but I've had some time to sit with this and, think about it. To me, this isn't a good thing. I'm not happy about Activision getting bought out and potentially a game like Call of Duty being exclusive. I wouldn't have liked it if Sony did that. Hell, I wasn't even a fan of Sony making exclusive modes on Call of Duty. I think they did that with the Black Ops Cold War. A franchise like Call of Duty should be on all platforms as it's always been. With Bethesda, I said Xbox should make those games exclusive, but that was so they can compete. You can go watch that video. I said they should be exclusive for competition's sake to push back on Sony, but this new deal is going too far in my opinion. With Bethesda, it was to compete. With Activision, Microsoft is setting the tone for the future here. Imagine with me that Microsoft gobbles everything up, or most major third-party companies up, because at this point they probably will, and Game Pass is the only major gaming subscription service. Who goes against them? If Sony doesn't make similar moves, people will just play on Game Pass. If Game Pass is the only thing on the market, Microsoft literally has control here that the user doesn't, the consumer doesn't. If they wanted to jack up prices, they can. Who's competing with them? At least in the music and video streaming side of things, you have competition. But for gaming, it's different. You can't just jump into console gaming. Companies have tried in the past and have failed. My mind goes even darker than this. What if it comes to a point where if a game is not on Game Pass, it's not getting people's attention? You already have a bit of that right now, just a bit, but if Microsoft keeps buying these publishers, people will have too many games on their hand to care about anything that's not on Game Pass. What does this do to indie studios not on Game Pass? Your average gamer will just get Game Pass and wonder, why they'll have to pay for anything, any game. Of course, we'll have to wait until 2023 until this deal is fully approved, which it will be most likely, but will that mean Microsoft can keep going and buying more publishers? I personally hope not. Microsoft also said they plan to keep some games exclusive, some not. We've been here before with Bethesda. I would just expect games to be exclusive to Xbox to save you some headaches. Call of Duty, Overwatch would be very weird to be exclusive, but let's see on those. Now, of course, on the Sony side, the games people are most excited for includes God of War Ragnarok, Horizon 2, GT7, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, etc. Sony has games on lock and people excited, but they need to compete. You can tell Sony isn't a fan of buying out publishers. They like to assist studios, help them grow, and potentially buy them out. Sony fosters a more natural approach and helps studios be creative. Look at Kojima with Death Stranding or Housemarque with Returnal, both doing different things. In terms of publishers Sony could buy from the major list of third-party publishers out there, they could buy Take-Two, Bandai Namco, Ubisoft, Konami, Square Enix, Capcom, Sega. Again, Sony doesn't like to buy publishers out, but if they don't, Microsoft is pretty much saying they'll buy more. And if that Activision deal goes through, where does it end? In my opinion, and Sony could do this, they should buy Konami, Square Enix, Capcom, and Sega, all four. Since last year, Sony has taken out $27 billion from their cash on hand, according to Macro Trends. What have they done with that money? That's more than all the publishers I mentioned they should buy combined, which amount to $20 billion roughly. Of course, market cap doesn't mean that's their price, but it's around there, I would assume. I'm obviously also not saying Sony pulled the trigger on these companies, but I'm saying they have the ability to. In the end, my point of view in terms of excitement for this year hasn't changed. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon 2, PSVR 2, Factions 2, that's a huge year for me. Personally, I love Factions more than Call of Duty. You guys know how much I love Factions, but they're also two different games. First-person shooter versus third-person shooter. Sony really needs to bring back Resistance, Killzone, etc. for their FPS market, their first-party first-person shooter franchises. Again, what PlayStation fans are excited for, they're still excited for, and will be able to play just fine. It's just a matter of what this sets for the future. I don't want Microsoft owning so much, or Sony either. When it comes to third party, those games should be on everything. Focus on your first party and build those out. We'll see if this deal actually goes through next year. For the time being, all we can do is wait. Now, diving into the second story of the video, a new PlayStation 5 controller. Reading from Games Radar, Hori has announced a new fight stick and PlayStation 5 controller that brings some fighting edge to the steadily growing field of third-party PS5 controllers. The fighting stick for PlayStation 5 will launch at $199, and the fighting commander Octa for PlayStation 5 will be $59.99, though there's no word on when pre-orders will go live. In brief, the details are as follows. The fighting stick is a customizable tournament-grade fighting stick equipped with Hori's legendary Hayabusa lever and Hayabusa matte-finished buttons, as well as interchangeable artwork and programmable button profiles. And the fighting commander Octa is the ultimate controller for 2D fighting games with a single analog stick and 6 face button layout, as well as an ergonomic wired design and customization options galore too. So I'm not really the biggest fighting game fan, but it's nice to see options out there for people on PlayStation 5. PlayStation as a platform is pretty big on fighting games, so this new controller makes sense, and it's also priced decently. I will say there's no mention of DualSense, so I wonder if that's why it's priced decently well. Regardless, let me know if you have interest in this new controller or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, day one releases on PlayStation Plus, or whatever they decided to call this new service from PlayStation. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said he believes Game Pass, a Game Pass-like service from Sony, is inevitable, and that he expects it to make new releases available day one in the subscription, although he didn't mention whether he thinks this will include first-party titles. So Phil Spencer recently sat down with IGN and talked about Game Pass for a bit. In that discussion, he mentioned the reports that Sony is going to create their own Game Pass competitor. He went on talking about how they still don't have it all figured out with Game Pass, but that it's the inevitable future subscription services. Phil also said the following: "When I hear others doing things like Game Pass or coming to PC, it makes sense to me because I think that's the right answer. I don't really look at it as validation. Actually, when I'm talking to our teams, I talk about it as an inevitability for us. So for us, we should continue to innovate, continue to compete, because the things that we're doing might be advantages that we have in the market today, but they're just based on us going first, not that we've created something that no one else can go create. I like it because it feeds our energy on what are the next things that we should be working on as we continue to build out things that we've done in the past, because I think the right answer is to ship great games, ship them on PC, ship them on console, ship them on cloud, make them available day one in the subscription, and I expect that's what our competitor will do. So for me, I still don't see PlayStation releasing day-and-date titles like God of War Ragnarok on their new service day one. I could see them releasing smaller titles on the service from PlayStation Studios, but not the big juggernauts they know they'll make a lot of money off of. This is what it is now, of course. That could change in the future when every third-party studio is under Game Pass or Sony's subscription service. At that point, the landscape could be very different in terms of gamers not wanting to pay out for games, especially $70 for a game. This Activision Microsoft deal is bigger than just PlayStation gamers possibly not being able to play Call of Duty anymore. This isn't the same as the Bethesda buyout. We'll have to wait and see how the next few years go in terms of acquisitions, and especially see if this Activision deal goes through. But you guys let me know if you see Sony releasing day-and-date titles on their new service or not. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. To subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "We need the reveals." Obviously, this is in reference to Sony's possible response to what just happened with the Activision deal, because this isn't the same as Bethesda anymore, guys. This is way bigger, painting a different future going forward. This is a gigantic deal, even if you don't like Call of Duty. So hopefully Sony, gives us something soon. If you're excited for what Sony has in store, destroy the comment section with "we need the reveals," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.